Hello, guys, and welcome to Tailored Talk. Now, today I'm going to pick 15 standout actors in the show Dahmer that's on Netflix. Disclaimer: Evan Peters is not on this list, as it would be too easy to make a 2-hour video screaming about how great he is from the rooftops, and I wanted to focus on other actors that I thought made a huge impact on this show. Number 15, actor Iva Braga, who played the judge. In episode 5, the audience see many more depraved sides of Dahmer when he gets arrested for inappropriate behaviour with a child called Somersack. Iva Braga plays the judge that presides over this case. He likens Dahmer to his grandson, protecting the predator as much as he can. Iva plays the judge with a dangerous naivety, ably showing the blatant racial bias that leaves everyone in the courtroom stunned. Standout actor number 14, actor Josh Braden, who plays the younger Lionel. What I like about Josh's voluminous performance is that his performance is the gateway to understanding the younger Joyce's behaviour. So is it any wonder why she feels so alone? He's very flippant about her suicide attempt. He refuses to understand her mental illnesses. Josh slash Lionel is extremely sympathetic towards his oldest son Jeff for being different, but has no patience for his wife being different. The taxidermy scenes between Lionel and Jeff in the garage is kind of built almost as a boys only club that Josh gleefully bans Joyce from in order to spend time with Jeff and have some guy on guy time, father son time, but it keeps Joyce out. And I think inadvertently, Josh plays that with pride as something again to rub in Joyce's face. And those scenes and Josh's performance is fascinating to watch. Actor standout number 13, actor Scott Michael Morgan, who played Officer John Balzarak. Now, as one of the officers that dropped a child back to a serial killer, you'd expect John to be remorseful, and he isn't. From the beginning of their suspension, of the shit hitting the fan, John always looks out for himself. Scott Michael Morgan plays the racist officer with a privileged, entitled ruthlessness. I was furious watching him, as even with Conorak dead, Scott made John only think about himself and his career, which was very true to life. Actor standout number 12, Carl Makinen, who plays Officer Clyde Reynolds. Now, Carl Makinen's performance was literally, if I don't give a fuck, was a person. When Shirley comes in, he knows that Tony's black, but when Shirley tells him that Tony is 31 and the last time she saw him, he was out with a friend, he's beyond giving a damn. Even after Shirley's tearful promises about how much of a good person her son is, Officer Reynolds hits her with the line, "Is your son involved in any drug or gang violence? Anything that you're not telling us about?" The jaded racism of Cole's performance will resonate with anyone that has dealt with incompetent police or incompetent authority figures. Actor standout number 11. Actor Nigel Gibbs playing Reverend Jesse Jackson. When all of the crimes are exposed and riots happen across the city, Reverend Jesse Jackson comes to Milwaukee. Nigel Gibbs plays him with a celebrity jagged political energy. He says all the right things to civilians, but as time goes on, you do wonder who Jesse is really there for: the neighborhood, the victims, or the police. Actor standout number 10, Cameron Cowperthwaite, who plays Dahmer's first victim, Stephen Hicks. Cameron has a noteworthy performance of a happy-go-lucky kid who's a hitchhiker that has no idea what he's getting into when he takes a ride from none other than Dahmer at the age of 18. They're both 18, and he is Dahmer's first victim. Cameron plays Stephen as friendly one minute to suspicious and furious the next. You pull for Cameron Stephen to survive, and Cameron makes Stephen fight every step of the way for his life. That whole scene was a punch to the gut. Actor standout number 9, Kieran Tamadong, who played victim, one of Dahmer's youngest victims, Connor Synthesophone. Now, I've heard that this was one of Kieran's first main acting roles, and he did an amazing job as Konorak, a street smart, a street smart, wise kid who in the show knows what Dahmer did to his brother, but is reluctantly agrees to go with Dahmer for money. I read in an interview that Kieran is actually into combat sport, has his fingers in a lot of pies, and doesn't know whether he should go with acting full time. But I think he should really consider acting. Kieran could really be the next big thing in Hollywood. Actress standout number 8, actress Deshawn Barnes, who played Rita Isabel, the sister of Errol Lindsay, which you will see in the infamous courtroom scene. Now, this was probably through the work of the director, but I do wonder how many times Deshawn watched that viral clip of the courtroom, of Rita in the courtroom, to get into character. Deshawn expertly channels all of Rita's anguish, rage, and sorrow into her performance. If you play the clips side by side of the women, they are practically identical frame by frame. You can find the clip and you can find the whole episode of the victim statements of the real life families. You can find that all on YouTube. And if you watch Rita's section, where she reads out her victim statement concerning her brother Errol Lindsay, watch Rita's statement, and it will show you how immensely talented Deshaun Barnes is. Actor standout number 7, actor Dylan Burnside, who played Ronald Flowers. So, firstly, I just want to preface this by saying that the first thing that I saw Dylan in was Pose, and I really loved him as Cheeky Ricky. So, I think I'm going to be very biased here. I loved Dylan's scenes because in real life and on the show, Ronald Flowers is this straight to the point guy. He doesn't want to chit chat. He doesn't want coffee. He doesn't want alcohol. He just wants Dahmer to help him with his car so he can leave. Obviously, Dahmer has no intention of helping him with his car, takes full advantage of Ron, drugs him as usual. And I personally think that the Netflix show was right. You know, Dahmer never admits this in his confession. He always claimed that Ronald was not his type, and we can talk about that in another video. But I think that Netflix had it right with this show. I think that Dahmer was in the process of killing Ron, and then Grandma came in and freaked out, and that's why he couldn't kill Ron. In real life, Ron had carpet burns and bruising on his neck, and I think that's from Dahmer's fingers around his neck. I think Dahmer tried to kill him, and Grandma came down the stairs and saw it happening. So Dylan as Ron. Dylan was wonderful as Ron, trying repeatedly to get justice for himself, but unfortunately, the forever corrupt police department always had other ideas. Actor standout number 6. Actor Michael Anthony Spady, who plays Rufus, one of Tony Hughes's best friends. Michael Anthony Spady is one of my favorites. He is literally sunshine and butterflies and fresh croissants in the morning when he plays Rufus, Tony's best friend. Both Rufus and Tony are deaf black men that are just trying to make it, just trying to survive and have a lot of fun along the way. Rufus is very encouraging about Tony's modeling career. He tries to help him find love and balance his new successful modeling career with Tony's job and his love life. He's such a supportive guy. We would all want a fun friend like Rufus, and Michael Anthony Spady is fantastic. I've never seen anything from him before, and his performance just made me rush to the nearest device to pull up his filmography. Guys, if you haven't seen episode 6 called Silenced, if you haven't seen episode 6 yet, watch it just for Michael's performance. It's amazing. Hi guys, we are now on to the top 5 performances in Dahmer. Are you ready? So his starting off with number 5 is the actor standout number 5, Pete Whangare. He plays Southernay Symphophone, who is Somersac and Conorac's father. Okay, so Pete's performance just tears you to pieces. As an immigrant and as a father, all he wants to do is protect his children, give them a better life in the States, and keep them safe, only for a demented psycho, who is also a child predator, to destroy his family. You ache for Southernay as one of his kids. Somersack is groomed by Dahmer and manages to escape, only because he didn't drink all of the drink that was given. And then the other one, Konorak, is lured to Dahmer's apartment and murdered only a year later. Capet, the actor, is a marvel as this man who tries to battle the system only to get steamrolled by the very department that is paid to serve and protect his family. The whole synthesomphone story is absolutely devastating. Actor standout number 4. Actor Teddy Margus, who plays Ricky, the manager of the bathhouse that kicks Jeff out. Now, anyone who watches the show knows that Ricky is known as just Ricky. But on IMDb, he's known as Sticky Ricky because he works at the bathhouse. I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, oh my god, that's Sticky Ricky is one hell of a name. But in this video, we're just going to call him Ricky. Now, Ricky, the bathhouse manager, is the very clear chameleon of this list because at first glance, he's this loud camp matron of the bathhouses, very easygoing, happy-go-lucky, and he's also quite flamboyant, so it's easy to underestimate him. But please beware. Because when Ricky finds out that Dahmer is drugging men in his bathhouse, he challenges him. So Dahmer's been drugging men at the bathhouse for quite some time, and he's been able to get away with it. But there's one incident where one of the guys overdoses, and one of the young guys nearly dies. Ricky has to get the paramedics in. So the next time Dahmer comes into the bathhouse, it's like, "Hey Ricky, how you doing? One room, please." Ricky immediately tells him to fuck off. In retaliation, Dahmer gets in his face and grabs Ricky's collar. Ricky stands his ground and tells Dahmer to fuck off, get the fuck off him, and shoves him away. It's a stunning performance by Teddy as Ricky goes from as camp as Christmas to a grizzly bear when needed. This is the first time that someone outside of Dahmer's family squares up to him and punishes him for the weird shit that he does. In the fight scene, we learn two things. One, you never fuck with Ricky's money, and two, that you never fuck with his business. It was an awesome performance by Teddy Margas. Actor standout number 3. Actor David Guerrero as Chief Areola. David, to me, played the chief the same way that Nigel Gibbs played Reverend Jesse Jackson to an extent. You always question the chief's motives. When he's at Glenda's ceremony, he's stilted and polite. You can tell that he doesn't want to be there. He's polite enough, he's civil enough, only to glare at Glenda when she tells him in half a room of people that he needs to do better and that his department needs to do better. David plays the chief with a sly determination, but I think the chief is no better than his detectives that happily let Dahmer get away with murder. Actor standout number two, actor Michael Beach, who plays Detective Murphy. It's worth noting in real life, the detectives who interviewed Dahmer, Murphy and Kennedy, they were white. The casting director cast Murphy as a black man instead. Detective Murphy is one of my favorite side characters because in the interrogation room, he really does pick at Dahmer and examine his motives. The splendid Michael Beach treats Dahmer with a professional yet courteous disdain. In real life and on the show, Dahmer liked and likes to romanticize his crimes, and Michael, as Detective Murphy, puts a pin in Dahmer's Valentine balloon and bursts it. Detective Murphy holds up a mirror into Dahmer's face and forces the blonde to realize how sadistic and how demonic and how tactical he is. Michael Beach is one of the main reasons why episode 5 is my favourite episode. Okay, guys, dun dun dun, we're at number one. So, the number one standout actor performance from the supporting cast of Dharma, the number one performance, in my opinion, is from Sean Brown, who plays Tracy Edwards, the last victim of Dharma's and the one that got away and alerted the police to his deeds. So, the number one performance from the supporting cast, in my opinion, goes to Mr. Sean Brown, who plays Tracy Edwards. Now, I'll admit, when I first saw Sean slash Tracy in the club, and he introduced himself as Tracy, and I realised that he was going to be the Tracy Edwards, the one that got away. I groaned when I saw Sean, and I completely wrote him off because Sean physically does not look like Tracy Edwards. Tracy is a lighter skinned guy. He's thinner, he's more wiry, and he's got more of a chiseled face. And because he didn't look like Tracy, I thought that Sean wouldn't be good. You know, I did not think he was going to be good. I thought that I was going to be rolling my eyes the entire time. But I underestimated him. Sean, I apologize. I was 100% wrong. In the show, Sean is in the first episode. He's going to the club. He's hanging out with his friends. Dahmer approaches him, says, "You look like a model. I'm a photographer. I'll give you $50. Make some easy money." And Tracy agrees, and the nightmare begins. Now, Sean is in the first episode immediately working with Evan Peters. And I'm guessing, I'm just assuming, that it must have been daunting working with somebody side by side with somebody that people are calling the next De Niro and the next Brando. But Sean Brown really holds his own. He looked and acted at home with Peters, and Evan Peters and Sean Brown had this amazing energy together on screen. Because this whole scene was, when he gets into the house, is just so creepy, and I feel like they had this amazing sizzling energy and they bounce off each other. Sean didn't look out of place at all. He looked like he was meant to be there. Sean Brown gives an impeccable performance as this innocent, super friendly guy, yet extremely naive, who accidentally falls into Dahmer's web because he needs the money. And Dahmer capitalizes constantly on vulnerable men and boys that need money. So you're constantly rooting for Tracy as he enters the apartment, tries to get out, and of course Dahmer does not let him out. So Tracy has to put his thinking cap on, put his best step forward, and he has to comfort and claw and soothe and seduce his way out of Dahmer's murderous clutches. Episode 1 is one of the best episodes of the series because of Sean Brown's unbelievable performance. So guys, that's the end of the video. Let me know what you think in the comments, if any other supporting characters really had an impact on you, and if what character had an impact on you in the Dahmer show, in the supporting cast, and why. Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.